Here we go. Welcome to Android App Addicts, episode number 18. Android App Addicts is the show where we bring Android apps to the table. We have 3 guest hosts on the show, so there's lots of apps, there's lots of fun, there's lots of craziness. And we go over some Android news at the end, and I actually have a slew of emails I'm going to read today. So if you guys have been sending them to me, I'm an idiot, and that's why they haven't been being read, because I keep forgetting. But we'll read them all this show, so don't be discouraged to send us anything. And voicemails, by the way. All right, let me introduce the co-host of the show as soon as I get my mouse in the screen. First, I'd like to introduce Door-to-Door Geek, Steve McLaughlin from DoorToDoorGeek.com. What's up, Steve?
Same old, same old. Another week down, another umpteen apps installed on my phone.
Nice. And Tim Kelly from Tim'sComputerFix.com. What's going on, Tim?
Hey, hello everybody. My Motorola Droid blew up in my face the other day. No, just kidding.
Oh, dude.
Dude, that ain't funny.
I was gonna say no, not just not funny. Just like I was in shock. Unbelievable.
No, you were gonna laugh.
No, I swear I wouldn't. I didn't want to validate that other joker who made the news by blowing up his Droid 2 somehow. We don't know if that's true or not. All right, Steve D'Amico from smdcomputer.net is the other co-host. What's up, Steve?
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on with you? Nothing? Good.
Nothing.
All right. Let's get into some stuff here, guys. Let's start off with Timster. Timster, what do you got for us today?
Okay. You know, I found this really neat app that, if you're changing your phone, if you're changing phones or upgrading your phone to another Android phone, you've got all your contacts, and I know it syncs with Google, but you have contacts, you have all your SMS messages, pictures. There's an app here that I ran across that actually not pictures, but what it does is it's called Lifesaver 2, and what it does is it copies your phone call log and SMS messages to your new phone, and all you have to do is to run Lifesaver on your old phone to save your history to the SD card. Then you put that SD card into your new phone and you restore all of your information. And here's what it looks like when you run it. It's just a real simple app, and you just click Save Your Life, the white Lifesaver, to back everything up on your SD card, and then you put the SD card in your new phone, and then you just hit Bring It Back on the phone, on the red Lifesaver, and it will restore all of your contacts and information.
God, can't get much easier than that.
Yeah, really
I like
simple
that
stuff there.
But what does it save? What's in the call log? Just your phone history? Or
it says right here on the support page that it's all your call logs and SMS messages. And that's all.
No contacts.
No. Well, I thought it did say contacts. Did I misread that?
I don't see contacts.
Phone, call log and SMS messages. Oh, I guess not. Well, you always have Gmail to back up your contacts. So
yeah.
Sorry about that.
I never, till this day, I still have not. Whenever the phone asks me where I want to save my contacts, I always pick phone, because I think I must be something I'm doing, but I'm a little discouraged every time I try to do a Gmail contact. It brings up every email address, and every person I've ever emailed in my Gmail, and it's just thousands. So I get a little confused. I just go, oh, just save it to the phone. Just save it to the phone. So I have all my contacts saved on my phone, and I always lose them. So I have to just check on that again. But that's why I was kind of interested in Lifesaver here.
Man, well, it doesn't do contacts, unfortunately.
All right.
Or pictures. I don't even know why I said that. But no, but I mean, Steve, you better back up your contacts, man.
I know. I got to put them in.
I don't know what I'd do if I lost all my contacts. It's like,
Wait a couple minutes.
Okay. Did I just hear something?
No, that was subliminal. But wait a couple minutes.
Everybody with children, and not even children. I mean, I'm a kid at heart. I love this app. It's just simply called Cartoon Channel. And basically, it is exactly what it says. I mean, it has just tons and tons and loads of cartoons to choose from. And I could be a cartoon junkie sometimes. And let me tell you some of the cartoons that you can watch on this, and it's all in high definition, by the way. I mean, it's really good clarity. Uh, Casper, Popeye, Chipmunks, Tiny Toons, Donald Duck. How about some
Dude,
of the old ones like Betty Boop?
you had me at Chipmunks.
Lego Wars, Felix the Cat, dude. I mean, Donald Duck. Tons
Serious?
of cartoons.
Serious? Look, this guy who wrote the review here must be literally from outer space, because he writes, and I'm on AppBrain. I'm looking at the page. He writes, I looked at the tune, and there's nothing I could watch. More than half the stuff there I don't even know. I'm uninstalling, but maybe I'll check it out again later, much later, to see if the quality of the content has improved. Now, every cartoon you just told me is a classic.
Yeah,
So,
well, I saw that too.
I'm guessing he's like 12 years old.
yeah, good point. Might be.
Probably right.
Might be.
Yeah.
That's a good one, though, Timster. Now, is this, like, approved through all, like, copyright channels?
You got me.
Okay.
I mean, I have no idea. All I know is you can watch some pretty darn good cartoons with clarity.
And that's
And
all
they're
you need to know.
The full-length cartoons, man. That's
Really? It's pretty
good
cool.
stuff. So
It's downloads or streams?
streams.
Wow. Badass. I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So well, so last night was my wife's, where she works, her company's Christmas party.
Okay.
And it was downtown here in downtown Savannah. It was in a 3-story, a very nice Italian restaurant that had different levels. And her company had just rented out the whole second floor of this place. And I'm going to tell you, the app that I mentioned before, Today's Reason to Drink, I didn't need that because there was a full open bar. So, and that's plenty enough reason for me and everybody else that was there. But we stayed there for, until like 1 or 2 in the morning, and we just had fun. And actually, I think I had a little too much fun because, well, I mean, I like to drink, every now and then, and I am Irish, so I come from a line of drinking family. But I will tell you something. There's something that comes along with drinking, and that's the next day. And man, I'm going to tell you, I felt terrible, and I says, you know what? I wonder if there's an app for that. So my next app that I chose is called Hangover Cures.
Oh, neat.
And I was like, well, let's find out if there's anything that this app can do for me to make me feel better, man. Because I still feel bad actually. So
I love the logo.
Yeah.
So some of the I guess you could say, I don't know, categories. That's not really categories, but they just have a list of things here. And let's see. Let's try one. One of them is labeled Firecracker. Let's see what it says. 50-50 tequila and Tabasco sauce in a shot glass. Clear the head like a shotgun.
50-50 what?
50-50 tequila and Tabasco sauce.
Oh, man. It's a prairie fire. That makes me vomit.
Okay, now, that's supposed to make you feel better?
Did you try it?
Hell no.
Don't knock it.
Dude, they work.
All right, listen, don't know.
I was forced to drink them in college.
Forced to? Wow.
Well, I mean, if I, like when you're pledging a fraternity, and then you had to eat the whole pepper in there too, and amongst other things. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. How about this one?
Yeah.
It's called, Basic Prairie Oyster. The idea with this morning after cocktail is to drink it without breaking the yolk. Ingredients: 1 whole raw egg, 1 dash of Worcestershire sauce, salt, and freshly ground black pepper to taste. Carefully crack the egg into a glass without breaking the yolk. Season with sauce, salt, and pepper, and down in 1 gulp.
That's a hangover cure?
Again, all that would probably make me do is throw up.
Let me tell you. Go ahead, Steve.
It's a future hangover cure because it makes you never want to drink again.
I don't know, man. Do you guys ever have raw eggs?
Yeah.
I've drinking raw eggs. I mean, you watch Rocky and then you think you're a puss unless you at least drink raw eggs once in your life. But here's the trick about drinking raw eggs. I've drank raw eggs before, and the kind you get just regular at the supermarket, generic, you know, they're like the cheap ones, like Acme brand or whatever they are, taste bad. If you buy organic eggs, like from free-ranging hens or whatever it says on the pack, but if they're organic from free-range like hens that aren't locked up in a cage, they actually taste damn good. There is a huge night and day difference between the taste of eggs from a bird that's running around and being free and a bird that's all cooped up and sick. So if you do decide to drink a raw egg, drink an organic one, and it will taste pretty good.
Yeah, because I always thought there was a risk of like salmonella or something if you're
slim to none.
Well, I don't like that word slim. Okay, well here is the remedy that I chose to go for here. It's called washcloth. Another effective way to alleviate the pain is to lie in a dark room with a cool compress on your head and rehydrate with water. Okay, well I chose that route.
And how did it work?
I still feel real bad, guys. I swear I'll never drink again.
I'm gonna tell you, stick with the old faithful, a Bloody Mary.
That's what they all say. I know. I saw that. It's on here too. Believe me.
You know why? Because that's
pepper and frappuccino. Oh my god.
Oh, that'll for about an hour you'll feel great probably. The Bloody Mary, what I think it does is it gives you salt and potassium. It handles dehydration.
Well, that, and I'll say, first off, Mr. Tim Kelly, I knew there was a reason I liked your son. The reason that those combinations things work, and I can tell you, I'm a good old Irish boy too. Alcohol, drug, next day you're like detoxing. Give yourself a little bit of it back again, and you won't feel as bad.
The drug?
Yeah, the drug.
That doesn't work with caffeine. Whenever I go through caffeine withdrawal, it doesn't. Not for me. Whenever I go through caffeine withdrawal, and you start to get the caffeine headache, it means it's too late. And no matter how much caffeine you drink, you're still gonna have that headache. For me, anyway.
With caffeine, it is what you're supposed to do is slowly step down. You know what I mean? With alcohol, you can't do that because you'll never be sober again.
Well, I must not be a true alcoholic because the true alcoholics, what they do to cure their hangover is to drink.
Yeah, slam a beer.
Oh, that's the last thing I want to look at.
Same here.
I like a hot shower just like pouring on my face, my head.
That's on here too.
Oh, good.
I like to just be unconscious. I don't know about you guys. I don't know about you guys. I get up and realize I don't feel good, and then just sleep.
Yeah,
that's boring.
That's on here too.
It's boring. It's boring,
sleep.
but it is boring. But it's probably the smartest one, Steve, because you're not aware. You're not like you don't have to suffer through it.
Yeah, it's the least painful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my logic for like when you're sick, sleep, because at least you're unconscious.
I like it. I get the feeling you sleep a lot for different things. Like,
no.
Is that your answer to a lot of things other than punch it and sleep it off? You're either punching something or sleep.
That's my trick for headaches. A lot of times it's for headaches.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I do the hot shower thing for headaches too. Timster, do you have a headache?
I did. I finally got rid of that.
Yeah.
And just, 3 Advil took that away after a few hours. So.
Alrighty.
But yeah. I just thought I'd share that with you. And real quick, did you guys see the news about the Google Maps 5 going live in 3D?
Oh?
Yes, I heard about that.
It's an update that came on your phone. It's on your phone, and actually here, let me throw this link up here, but it is neat. You got to check out this video. It is cool, man. And you just got to look at the video. Basically, you can tilt your maps now and zoom in, and you got 3D views of buildings, and it's awesome.
Well, have you done it, Timster?
I have, but you know what? I think that the 3D environment is only available for like larger cities.
Oh.
But if you just take a look at the video there, and I mean, I can tilt, zoom, and twist like it shows, but the 3D doesn't come up in my area.
Wow. Whoa. It's an update. It's done. Like we have
Yeah,
that.
it's done. It's on my phone.
I can tell you, I opened my maps going to work and coming back to work. I just opened up again, and I did see that update Timster talked about. I did
Yeah.
show you it.
That's pretty cool. I hear they're also doing vectors instead of JPEGs on their.
Yeah,
maps.
that helps. Trust me.
Yeah, that's big time.
I haven't seen. I don't have it yet. Oh wait, manual update. Ooh.
There you go. See, Timster's on the ball, man.
Yeah,
I
man.
heard about this. I saw like the review for it, and
Well-
it got me a little giddy.
There you go. Okay, I can tell you, my multi-touch even did not work until I disabled traffic layer and buds layer.
Oh wait, what do you got? How do you turn it on?
It's there automatically. You use
Yeah.
use 2 fingers, start at the top, and go down with 2 fingers, and that'll put your map at an angle, and then you zoom in, and everything automatically goes to the 3-dimensional look.
Dude, that's cool.
Yeah, I can't get it. I must need the update.
Well, no, maybe do.
It only does it in certain cities, I guess, or something.
The update just came out, so well, I mean, I guess larger cities because mine has every feature of that except for the 3D buildings.
I'm zooming in on
So I'm
Steve
just
D.
assuming.
I have latitude with Steve D, so I see where I spy on him all the time.
And it looks like it even works when you're not in a satellite view to look more like a GPS navigation-ish type view.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's an excellent find, Timster.
Thank
nice,
you, sir.
Nice one, Timster. Okay, any more, Tim?
No, man, you guys go ahead without me.
Steve, you want to wait? You want to let Dor go first?
Okay.
All right, Dor, what do you got?
Okay, I have a theme for my apps today, and that is open source. And if you're not completely aware of what open source means, you got to listen to the other show I do. We won't go into that detail now. It takes way too long.
What other show? Linux Basics?
No, Linux for the rest of us.
Okay, we could say the names of it.
I know, but you know. The first one I saw for weeks and I discounted and I didn't really look at until I found it was true OS agnostic and it works in a browser. So then I said, I'm going to give it a try. It's called WebKey Root Reacquired. I got to say, this is probably the most full-featured remote tool I've seen for my Android phone. It says it can work over 3G, but it depends on who your carrier is. It might not work. I don't believe it was working for me. Maybe it was because I was at my 9 to 5 and they had something blocked. But when I came home, I hooked it up to Wi-Fi. And I can tell you some of the things I was able to do. Look at my call log, get my notifications, start a call, end a call, remotely view my screen, control my screen, hit all the special buttons, volume up, volume down, home, back, whatever. Start SMSs, start phone calls, like I said, do emails. There's a box where you can type and then hit send, and it will send the keys to the phone with no extra software installed. So you literally can do everything with the phone not on you. And if your phone gets stolen, quote unquote, you can see what somebody else is doing on it at that given time. One of the other things I'll highlight real quick is you can set up multiple accounts on that one phone. So to me, this would be good for, I guess, like small businesses. So you could set up so multiple people could log into phones, like your IT department could log into all your phones. Just something I thought was cool. You can also back up your contacts, your messages, your call list, your SMS, your calls.
Oh, there you go.
All that stuff. It also has support for Dyn DNS, where if you're not aware of that, you set it up in your phone, then you go to Dyn DNS completely for free, and you can get a domain name, which means you never have to know the IP address of your phone when you want to go into your browser and view it. you go to that Dyn DNS. So it could be door-to-door geek at homelinux.net or whatever domains they have available for free. The file browser on this is the best file browser I think I've seen on one of these applications. When you go look at the regular internal card, it's nothing fancy. It's like a index of a web page, nothing at all. You can just browse and download. But when you go to the SD card, it uses a tool called Ajax Explorer, which is like Ajax Explorer. Utterly dynamic, very easily upload files, download files, rename files, delete files, create directories, so on and so forth. You can do anything you can imagine. There's a couple other features that I cannot remember off the top of my head that to me makes this a very, very cool app and well worth your time to check out.
You know, I did download this, not the updated one, I don't think, a couple months ago, and I just didn't know what it did. Because I opened it up and I ran it and I go, I don't understand what this is doing, and no concept to me that it was supposed to be run from a browser.
Yeah, I'll tell you, they don't make it obvious what it is that's supposed to be going on. The only reason I had an idea was because I've used like 4 or 5 other apps that do similar things.
Yeah. This is really neat. I'm gonna use it. It's still on my phone, actually. I'm gonna use it.
I'll say it's definitely good to check out, and you can chat with users who are connected to the phone. So hypothetically, I could say, Timster, I have a 500 megabyte file on my SD card. Nudge, nudge. I could create him an account. Nudge, nudge. And then he can download it from my phone whenever he wants.
Wow.
Timster,
That is cool.
I'm giving you an account.
Okay.
You need to download that folder off my phone. It's been there now for 2 months. But I digress.
Gotcha.
The interface for it, it's a little different when you get to the web interface. Along the top is these big, bulky 1989 looking web buttons. They're not pretty, but they're utterly functional. Where it has like configuration, export, SMS, SD card, internal memory, everything right there. I highly encourage people play around with it. And here's the reason why I'm encouraging people. It's open source, i.e., it will never die unless there's something else open source that's better than it.
I see. Get out of here. This is really cool, man. I like this.
I like it a lot. Honestly,
so powerful.
I know I've only been playing with it for 1 day, and I can tell you, I had my phone sitting over on the charger. Other apps, I would always have to go up and touch something to do something. Yeah. I was able to do every possible thing I could think of without touching my phone. I had my Bluetooth in, and my wife called, and I didn't even have to go touch the phone. I just hit the button there, my Bluetooth, boom. I could hit the Bluetooth, but, you know, I'm a geek. I want to do it through the computer.
Exactly. Well, this is kind of the opposite of like the intuitiveness that you would think. I mean, most people would want to use their phone to access remote things, but it's actually quite useful to do it in reverse, to access your phone if it's not around and you're in front of a computer. Yeah. And
right. And I'll tell you, the application I was using a lot is called Swift FTP. To me, that was the easiest way to get stuff back and forth off my phone. I would go start Swift and hit start, and then go to my computer and load FileZilla, connect via FTP, and then drag and do all this kind of stuff. This is so much simpler. And if I can figure out a way to access it over 3G, you know, for the win, it's great.
Oh, you can't do 3G on this?
I'm not sure I can. It says very clearly it's 3G supported, but it's vendor specific. So like the mobile phones might not support it, but AT&T phones might.
How about Sprint?
It all depends what they have blocked.
How about Sprint?
I don't know.
Damn. Got to check it out.
I know. And I really didn't thoroughly even check it for me because I was at work, you know, pounding. Got home, just turned on Wi-Fi and did it.
Okay, so you didn't even test it yet.
Not really.
Interesting.
Because at my work, I can't do a lot of stuff on my network, and I'm a domain admin.
Awesome.
Yeah. Next app I'm talking about because I love it. I don't know of any other way on an Android phone to have community conferences, let's say. That's the best way I can describe them, for quote unquote free. If you have unlimited data on your phone, there's a free server called Mumble, and it's Mumble-servers, the typical name, cross-platform, Mac, Windows, Linux. You install the server on either your web server or on a home computer, open up the port if it's at your home, and then via 3G, you can connect to this Mumble server and have voice conferencing. The app was intended to be made for gaming. So when guys are doing first person shooter, they can say, sniper on the hill, sniper on the hill, all that kind of stuff. I've personally found via Frame PC. He got me started on Ventrilo. Thank you. Ventrilo. After that, the guys in the lounge, we started using TeamSpeak. And after that, I found Mumble, which is an open source client. Right now, it's only supporting audio. Supposedly, they're working very hard for very soon to enable video conferencing as well. I got to say, very easy app. It's right now, the server's running on this laptop that's hosting this Skype, this webcam, and me browsing. And I can tell you there's somebody connected to it right now. And all you got to do on your Android phone, even on 3G, is just hit connect, and you're in a conversation.
Wow. It's cool, Dor.
That is cool.
Like it, and again, it's open source, so you don't have to worry about it disappearing unless something else that's open source comes out that's better.
You said you were going to do your last show that would be Linux Basics, using that application or service. Were you successful with that?
We didn't even try it, and then literally before the show, I found out they had an Android app. So I said, that's it. Next week we're using Mumble, just so if one of the guys on the show aren't around and they're on the road or someplace else, they can put in a pair of headphones into the phone and connect to the Mumble server and listen to it wherever they're at. When you're connected via the Android app, and I believe they also have a BlackBerry app, you can hit the speak button if you want to talk, and then touch it again when you're done talking. So you can literally wear like headphones and just listen and not worry about the surrounding noises.
Cool.
That's really cool, man. You could do a podcast like just from anywhere. I'd like to hear the quality of the call.
Yeah, me
Honestly,
too.
Not as good as Skype. Skype, that's why it's worth so much money, because it does secret sauce that nobody else can comprehend or duplicate. But it's better than a telephone quality, I can tell you that.
Okay.
I was down to one bar and I was still connecting. They said they heard no siloning or anything else. It's better than a phone call, but not as good as a Skype call. And we especially are accustomed to the quality of Skype. So it's slightly less. And I doubt the echo cancellation is up to the par of Skype, because Skype does a phenomenal job with echo cancellation.
Yeah. Skype does well.
Yeah, I'll give it credit when it's due. I don't know, man.
We're on Skype now.
Yes. And we only silent once in a while.
All right. Anything else, Dor?
I had a touch of news. We'll cover that later. Oh, and I'll just say real quick, I'm happy there's not an app to trace how much time I'm spending in each app, because then you people on this show would know I spent a combined 45 minutes or whatever in the last week on these two apps I talked about. You would see I spent many hours still in that comic book app reading The Walking Dead.
We would be proud of that fact. Are you kidding me?
And I'm almost done. I only got a couple more left, like 8 or 10 more left, and then the story's over.
All right, good. All right, over to Steve D then, huh? All right, Steve, what do you got?
Just earlier today, I was using. I've always wanted to do this. I haven't had a chance to yet. I haven't had the opportunity. But I finally was able to actually use wireless tethering on the job. Actually, like fix a computer with wireless tethering. I finally got a job where the people upstairs were not home, and there's so anyway, I got this customer calls up, internet connectivity issues,
Like you're having right
and
now.
and people, am
Well,
I really?
Yeah, I'm losing you. Right when you said internet connectivity issues.
Yeah.
All right, I stopped the recording. It's debugging. Let me call you back, Steve.
Okay.
All right.
And that's the same thing with the mumble people say. Once in a while, you just gotta reset,
Yeah.
which sucks. Oh my goodness.
Hey.
Hello. All right, let me frame you up here. That's the one thing about the pop-up window with Skype is you pop it out and then you got to pop it back. All right. That'll work. All right. Steve, whenever you're ready, and
Where do we start?
internet connectivity issues. Go.
I don't need nowhere. Sorry.
All right, I'll play it back what you said.
Okay. The people upstairs were not home, and there's so anyway, I got this customer calls up, internet connectivity issues.
The issues.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
right there.
great.
Ready, Steve?
Yeah.
And go.
So he can't connect to the internet, but he has to connect to the internet wirelessly because he's in an apartment downstairs. The upstairs people are not home. These landlords are not home, so which didn't help matters. So the big question was: is his internet connection problems due to his computer, or was it due to their, router or whatever their configuration, whatever their issues are upstairs? So I took one look at the computer. I'm like, oh, I know I could definitely test this pretty easy, and just pulled out the wireless tethering, just quickly connected it up, and his computer went on the internet immediately. So I knew it was definitely not the definitely not his computer. It was their network, which was kind of nice to finally be able to use that on the job.
Can I ask which app?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a couple of them out.
Which one do you use? Wireless tether?
Yeah, the one with the little green icon that looks like waves.
Looks like a wireless signal. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wireless tether. Dor, do you still use Barnacle? Dor, do you still use Barnacle?
Yes and no. I have it on the phone as a backup. That one keeps going, it seems like, in and out of working and not working, where wireless tether seems rock solid. Never had an issue with it.
Rock solid. It seems rock solid for me now, but it didn't at the beginning. I was having problems with it.
They have went through a couple iterations, but the one thing I can tell you, I'm witnessing a Timster thing. It doesn't say it's installed on my phone, but it's installed on my phone. And then I click install to put it on my phone, and it says cancel install. I install it, then I refresh it, and it says install, like it isn't even there. It says, I don't know what's going on there. But it's a great app. Love it.
Well, Steve D, I'm glad that worked for you. That's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. That I sent. Well,
Steve D, I'm sorry to interrupt
Yeah.
you. So the Wi-Fi tethering comes built in with the Droid 2?
No.
Okay, so you're rooted.
Yes.
Okay, good. I just had to clear that up.
I know you can. I know there's like a function where you can. I don't know if it's wireless tethering, but you know you can do wired tethering if you decide to
PDA net.
fork over. You will, aside from PDA net, if you want to be like a sheep and pay, you want to pay donations to Verizon. I think it's like $30 a month, and they'll let you do the wireless tethering. I think it's wireless or it's wired. I'm not sure which.
It better be wireless. Sprint does. I think it's $30 or $40 a month, and you could set up a Wi-Fi hotspot.
Yeah, I have it on mine too. I would think it's $40 a month.
Ooh, that's crazy.
Now Verizon wants to charge you for wired tethering.
Yeah,
Isn't wired?
Of course
Is wired, right? Not wireless.
Yeah, I don't know about
I
wireless, but
I have an app installed by default called 3G Hotspot that I can't run because I haven't paid them money.
Yeah, that's one.
That's it. That's what it is.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the phone.
Yeah,
Anyway.
some phones are not capable on their chipset to do infrastructure wireless routing. I mean, some of them can only do ad hoc, and the ones that do ad hoc, I believe they don't offer that app to.
Okay. All right, Steve D. What else you got?
So I'm a big fan of GTD, Getting Things Done, David Allen. So I was looking for, I stumbled across a program called GTD Agenda. And I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. I mean, I was trying to use like the GTD setup or the GTD system for a lot of different note-taking applications, and none of them really seemed to really fit perfectly. You know, it was always a little bit of a kind of workarounds and things like that. So I was really excited to see this app, GTD Agenda. But when I started to play with it, it really looks like it's just a web app. There is an Android app but it doesn't. The problem is you actually have to be a paying customer, and you have to upgrade to like a paying status in order to actually utilize the Android app for your phone.
What's the name of it? There is Getting Things Done DGT GTD.
No,
GTG, the agenda, all one word.
Oh, all one word. Okay.
Yeah.
It's important. There it is. 2 stars.
Yeah, because people are upset. Not that many users are using it, and people are upset that you have to actually.
I see. Yeah.
You have to pay for it in order to. I mean, like, there's a free account. It doesn't make sense. It's kind of silly. There's no like introduction. You know, you can't test it. You have to pay for the service. It really stinks.
So you can't really get things done with this app.
Yeah, you can't get it done until you fork over the money. And it's not cheap either. Let's see, for the basic plan, I think it's like, not cheap in relative speaking. It's about $5 a month, $4, and I think they want you to pay for a year. I don't know. It's not easy. It's not cheap, and there's different plans. I'm not too thrilled with this thing.
All right.
I wanted to try it out for the phone, but I just can't bring myself to actually pay for it. Just not that motivated, I guess, to actually fork money over to play with it, because I'm probably gonna be disappointed. At least that's what I'm expecting to be.
Who knows?
That's what's so great about this show. You know, not only do we talk about the great apps, we also talk about the ones that aren't so great.
Yeah,
It's true.
I mean,
it's true.
The GTD Agenda is really kind of almost like a web app for a computer, but of course, like anybody might imagine, what are you going to do with that? I mean, you can't always be in front of a computer screen wherever you are, you know, especially wherever you get ideas.
Did you check for different GTD? I mean, stuff on in App Brain, there is some GTD apps. There's a GTD Gmail client, and then there's I can never say it. DGT GTD Alpha, Getting Things Done Alpha version.
Yeah, I'll have to try those. I haven't gone through everything.
Yeah,
and some of that stuff is new, so
Okay.
I'll have to try other things. But this one is really tailored towards the GTD system, so it really was pretty exciting at first. And then I started using it, and there's a lot of people that are using this, but I was just kind of disappointed with the Gmail app. I think for users should be able to use it.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, how would you know if it's any good or not? I don't know. It stinks. So that's why it's got really bad reviews.
Okay.
And also another thing I noticed. This is the first time I've noticed that maybe everybody's been doing this. I don't know, but I did a classic, situation. Customer calls up, says, help me out. I'm like, okay, where's your address? And they give me their address. And so I go to Google Maps, type in their address, and do some searching. Finally found their address, and then I see where they live. Check out approximately where it is, what it's going to be like to drive there, and I'm like, okay, great. And then I get up, walk out, and then I stopped and I think to myself, oh no, I'm not going to exactly remember where this is. I'm going to have to remember the address. So I'm going to have to remember the address, but I just typed it in, so I knew what it was when I was just standing there ready to walk out the door. So I grabbed my phone and I started typing in the address. All I had to do was type in the street number. And in the Google history of my phone, now I didn't use my phone, I used my computer. In the history on my phone, it actually had synced the Google search history from the
Yeah.
computer.
Are you sure it's syncing a
Yeah.
history, or is it just is it predicting where you want to go?
No,
The
I mean,
very
like
first time
Steve
you
said, he
launched
just started
the
typing
search,
the number to just the number, and the entire address came up.
Yeah, but is it
Yeah.
predicting where he wants to go, or is it actually syncing his search history from his browser?
It's definitely
the first time
syncing
you
the history.
launch
It is.
the search on the phone, it asks you, do you want to sync your Google history?
Oh, that's very
Yeah.
cool, man. That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I love that feature, Steve D. I'm glad you talked about that.
Yeah, it's fantastic because I know it's definitely searching syncing the history from Google Maps because what I did because when I typed in this person's address, it did not come up automatically. Sometimes it does, occasionally, but it did not. And it was actually a little like maybe about a 30-second struggle to kind of figure out exactly what their address was, to get it to come up properly. And once I did, I had to think I had avenue instead of street or something stupid like that. And then, but once it came up and I was able to see it, I'm like, oh, great. And then then that's when I got up, walked over, and then all it did was type in the street number, and boom, the whole thing just typed right out for me, nice and
Damn.
nice. And I was like, oh, there we go. That's nice. I don't have
That's
to remember
really,
exactly
that's
what
awesome.
it was.
Great way to discover that. I've typed in addresses though that are not even in my history, and they've come up because Google tries to predict where you want to go, in Maps anyway. So
Yeah.
Well, I discovered it the same way Steve D did. I went on Google Maps in front of my computer in my office, and then and just to find out, see where they're at, and then I ran and got in the car, and when I went to leave, I said, "Oh dang, I forgot the address." So I just punched in the number on my phone on my GPS, and bam! I mean, it was right there, it came up.
damn,
Like,
it's great. Anything else?
That's really neat.
Anything else, Steve D?
Yeah, actually, we can work on this one together. How are you liking Google Latitude?
Oh, it just when I go to Maps, it reminds me because it shows my thing as an icon there, and then I say, I wonder what Steve's doing because then looking at my icon reminds me that you have an icon too, and then sometimes I accidentally hit your name and it just pops right to you. Like for example, are you right in front of a football field? Do you have a football field in your backyard practically?
It's actually across the street. There's a school.
Okay, yeah, it's neat. It was actually cool when Steve D was down here. We synced up with Latitude, and then when he left, I just watched his icon just drive away,
awesome.
all the way back to New York. And I caught him on time, like 2 days later, and you were only in Virginia. I'm like, why? I'm like, you're still in Virginia, and you're like, yeah, it sucks.
Oh yeah,
but no, it's cool. I like Latitude. Do you like it?
yeah, it's pretty neat. I mean, it would be even cooler if we were in the same city because then I'd be like, oh, you're new here too,
Right?
And I just
right,
text you,
right.
that kind of thing. But otherwise, it's like you don't really know Long Island too well, so I'm sure you're just like, where is that? What the?
Yeah. I mean, it just says name of the town, and it's so zoomed in. I'm like, oh, he's just in New York. That's cool.
He's still there. He's not trying to creep up on you.
Yeah, it's pretty neat though. It's pretty neat.
And if he is, he doesn't have his phone. But it's pretty fun. The Google Attitude, it's great. Yeah, you know what? I wish I wish there was more people that actually were nerdy around me that would actually use this because then I'd use it. But it's
yeah, you gotta find some people.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh yeah. I'll tell you that one of the places you probably saw me going to is one of these. I went to like an IHOP and it was a real dive. It was really like run down and the waitress, and she was really miserable and she was like coughing and there was cigarette smoke like coming in from the outside. The place was like kind of dilapidated and they served me like fried like horrible over like cooked food, and the person I was driving with was really falling asleep in front of me. I was just like, oh my god, I almost shy, and it was like really depressing country music playing. I almost shot myself. I almost shot myself, but I had no gun. So
driving from that distance to Florida is always going to be a miserable trip. I think I can't drive. I can't sit in the car that long and be comfortable and be happy. Lock me up in a cage. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Cool. All right, let me talk about since there's so many voicemails, and I have one thing I want to talk about. I don't do much app searching, but there is a game that got my interest, and it's called Can Knockdown, and I like it for a couple reasons, which is it's actually gonna lead me into the next. I have a bit of a rant about something that's on my phone, an actual good rant. But Can Knockdown is pretty cool because the physics are cool. It's got great graphics. I love the shading and the lighting, and basically it's that carnival game where you take a ball and you just throw it at 3 cans and try to knock them down, and sometimes it's not only 3, it's a couple other cans. But there's only like 6 levels, and then it just starts repeating itself. So that after I found that out, I just stopped playing. But just doing at least those 6 levels is pretty cool. It's I like games with accurate physics. And what?
Did you win a goldfish?
No, I didn't win anything.
Oh,
That's
you didn't win a goldfish?
No, maybe in version 2 we'll have goldfish. Or I'd actually win like I would pick a giant stuffed animal if they had them.
If you win, they just mail one to you.
That's awesome. That's so funny to me for some reason. Anyway, that's a pretty cool game, but it got me thinking because what's been really tying up a lot of my time, and I'm late to the game, but I want to remark about it, is Angry Birds. And I'm going to go out on a limb here, Dor, and I don't know what you're going to think about this, but I have many reasons why I think Angry Birds is an almost perfect game in so many respects. And let me just start listing them off, and then you guys could chime in. Number one, I really think Angry Birds is done right. It's a perfect game for a phone, and it's just a good game in general. Number one, great production value. The graphics are awesome. Colors, shading, graphics are just great. It's done professionally. It looks great. Number two, the physics. Physics are consistent, and it works. You launch a certain bird. If he's just a certain type of bird, he goes a certain distance. If you hit him at a certain angle, if he hits a certain block or brick, he knocks that down. If you launch him at a high altitude and he comes shooting down, he breaks more than if you just shoot him straight. Like a lot of the physics are consistent in the game. 3, you get to destroy things in the game. Things break apart and bash apart in the game. And people like that. It's like they're getting something done. Like you shoot a bird at this wood house. If it's the bomb bird, he blows up all the things and they go flying. And that's just fun to watch. People like to blow things up. That's included in the game. Number 4, you can pick it up for 5 minutes and knock out a certain amount of levels and feel like you got something done in the game. The sound effects, the music is hilarious. I mean, my favorite bird, I think, is the white one where you launch him and he goes, wee! And he makes this funny sound. And like the sound effects and the music are great in the game. It keeps you laughing. It keeps it fun. The characters, they're cute little animals. You know, it's like Angry Birds against cute little angry pigs. I mean, it's a great matchup. It's not like too harsh it's for all audiences. You know what I mean? Those are some of the things off the top of my head. I think that this game, I mean, the reason it got so popular, it's almost a perfect game. Bring it back to me now. What do you think?
Yeah, well, you talk about the sound. It's kind of funny you say that because I was at a family get-together and I was kind of bored and everybody was kind of talking, so I just started playing Angry Birds. And the sound alone, the music and the sound alone just got everybody's attention. What are you playing?
Right.
And next thing you know, they're all gathered around me going, wow, that's pretty cool. And, what game's going to, grab attention like that?
Exactly.
Well, that and any game that's good that has birdies in it.
Yeah, it's
I think
cute
Dor
little
has something
birdie.
to say.
All right, Dor.
I'll just say Angry Birds is a touch above Hit the Monkey.
Why?
Because it's the same exact thing every level. Boing, 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 boing. I understand why it's addictive. I fully understand. But I get zero enjoyment out of it because all I do is go, ding, and then once in a while I tap the screen to make a thing speed up or split up.
So you're saying you could complete every level without even positioning or controlling the birds in any way? You could just launch them at random? Because when you say ping,
no.
I'll say
I got on 45 levels, 3 stars in less than an hour and a half. I found it to be not fun at all.
Okay. Well, you must be more smarter and better than all of us.
It's just I'm a diehard, utter, ridiculous gamer like the Wiimote. Let me tell you something. Wiimote controller, Android. The games are old as dirt. Nintendo, Super Nintendo, but dang, that controller makes them smooth like butter.
Well, what game are you playing on with the Nintendo controller? What game have you been playing a lot? What's been taking up a lot of your time?
I've been playing Legend. I've played some Atari games just for nostalgia because they're easy to just blow right through. But I've been playing a lot of Castlevania 3, Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
I tried a Ghostbusters game, but I don't think I understood what I was supposed to be doing. There's at least 2 or 3 more that I did.
Yeah.
You know what? Golf on the Wii is pretty fun.
No, it's not the Wii. He's playing NES Droid with a Wiimote on his Android phone.
Oh yeah,
right?
Okay.
And I like that because if you hit 2 buttons at the same time, it actually responds. Where sometimes on the phone it was like you could only hit one thing at a time. You know what I mean?
Maybe I've been taken away by the mainstream population of this game. But the more I play, I actually got to a point when I'm playing it where I'm going, I just stopped and I looked at my phone. I said to myself, this is just a great game. Because I pick it up at different times during the day. And I don't usually do that with games. I play them for 5 minutes and say, okay, that was cool. And then I put it down. But I actually stopped and remarked, this game has so many great elements in it. I applauded the game. Quietly.
I mean, I know it has more than I want to say. I'm going to get this number wrong. More than 33 million downloads worldwide. So people like it. And I mean, don't get me wrong,
take some skill. It does take some skill. You can't just launch these things and just and beat every level. You can't.
Well, yeah.
Well, and everybody's look, everybody's got to play it because everybody's got to poo.
This is true. That's number one reason to go to the bathroom. Angry Birds.
Yeah.
I want to have
every time I have to make a poo.
I want to have a bird off with the door. We're gonna set this up for next show. We're gonna be a live bird off, and I want to play door and see how many stars he gets in these levels that he claims. Oh, he's gotten 3 stars. I want to see it, and I'm taking you on.
I don't even know what a single level looks like on the seasons or whatever it's called.
Let's play seasons. We'll do a couple levels of seasons. I won't play any on seasons either.
Okay.
And let's see what happens on that. All right, let me read some emails, guys, because we got tons of them.
Just real quick thing of news. If you buy an app, you must know, because you're not going to get notified. I'm not going to get notified. I don't think anybody's going to get notified. There's no longer, or there very soon will no longer be a 24-hour return policy to get your money back. It's going to change to 15 minutes.
Come on. I'm trying to feel better here, man. That makes me sick.
I gotta let people know.
Honestly, do you guys return a lot of apps? I don't think I returned one.
I did go through a phase where I purposely just went out and tried to find the best paid apps, and I would download. It wasn't like I was looking for something to fit my need. I just wanted to find something cool that was paid.
No,
I've returned apps a few times.
You have? Does Google raise a flag on you? Does it look out for people who just download and return apps immediately?
No, I did it literally in an hour. I downloaded and did it like 5 times.
They must not flag you if you got the Google Notebook, Google Chrome.
Well, that
notebook.
was months ago.
Okay. Cool. Let me read some of these, and then we can do more news after the emails if you have any more stuff to talk about. It's from John. He says, hey, Steve, on that Frodo C64 simulator on the Android, because he talked about that earlier. It's a Commodore 64 simulator on the Android. Don't know why they call it Frodo, but anyway. He says, on that simulator on the Android, note what happens when you turn the phone from portrait to landscape. Clever. In portrait, the C64 computer screen is at the top of the screen with either the C64 joystick or the C64 keyboard below it. They switch when you hit the back button. Turn the phone to landscape and the joystick becomes partially transparent and floats over the C64 computer game screen so that you now have the game full screen on your Android with the joystick floating on it. I believe there's an option to move the location of the joystick, but I haven't really spent a lot of time with it yet. By the way, should at least mention I really enjoy the Android App Addicts podcast. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you, John. We read we liked your email so much we read it on the show.
And Nestroid does that automatically too as well.
Oh, Nestroid.
Nestroid.
Nestroid. Nestroid.
Isn't that what it's called?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It is.
Yeah, it actually has it has options to turn it on and off, but it has controls right on the screen.
Cool.
Yeah.
This is one from another John, I believe. He says, "Hey Steve, I've heard and read a lot about rooting. I understand that one advantage is that you can use that to get rid of the quote bloatware that your carrier, in their infinite wisdom, has provided for your use on your phone. This has raised two questions. One, what other advantages are there to rooting the phone? I'm quite happy with the phone I have now, Samsung Galaxy S, the T-Mobile Vibrant flavor, and they don't see a reason, and I don't see a reason to make any massive changes to it. I just like the idea of getting rid of bloatware." Sorry if I'm butchering this email. He says, "I just like the idea of getting rid of bloatware." Number two, once you root, can you then use normal file managers to simply delete the bloated apps? Or will I need to become some kind of overnight command line guru to really complete the process of getting rid of the bloatware? Oh, and one more. After I've rooted and eliminated the bloatware, can I then use Z4 root to unroot again and have essentially my original phone but without the bloated apps? Would there be any reason to unroot? I realize all this stuff is probably old hat to you guys, but Android is still new to me. I cannot speak today. This is not like me. But Android is still new to me. Thanks in advance for any help. And no, I will be tuning into the Addicts and telling my Android friends about it too. That's from John from Phoenix. Hey, thanks, John. I appreciate the email. I'm glad you're liking the show. Definitely tell your friends about it. And let's answer his questions. Who would like to talk about this?
I can cover some of it. It's like an iPhone. You don't want to jailbreak it unless you want to jailbreak it. You know what I mean? Don't just root because you want to root. Root because you want a Wi-Fi tether or get rid of bloatware or one of those things. Don't just do it because it's a cool thing to do. Two, you should not delete the bloatware that comes on the phone. Just rename it. All Android apps have an APK extension. Just rename it to like BPK. Here's the reason why. You delete those files, and if you are rooted, and then if you get an OTA update, an over-the-air update to the next version of Android, your root will be messed up. That's what happened to me. That's what it turns out happened to me on my last phone.
Don't be like Door.
Yeah, and that is the reason to unroot. When you get offered an OTA, you should decline it. Go in, rename all the files, which you can do through a normal Explorer. The one I use is a Super Manager and Astro, I think it is. Both of them in the settings, you can say enable root functions, and then you can go anywhere you want, rename what you want, delete what you want. When you get that notification, rename those bloatware files back, go into Z4 root, click unroot, and then do the OTA update. That's the most safest way to do it.
Wow. So it is possible. So I have a hacked ROM. I have a different ROM. I probably couldn't get the update, but okay, I get what you're saying. When you rename those bloated apps, the phone just then does not recognize them and then therefore can't run them. Is that what happens?
Well, no. This is not like Windows. Nothing like Windows. The apps, when you're renaming them, they're not. Even though they might be running, the files are not locked. They're in a VM being ran. You just go rename that app, and I did it once on a command line on a computer connected to the phone. I renamed the app with the app drawer open on the phone, and I renamed the app, hit enter, and I watched the app just disappear.
Huh.
So it was no longer in existence on the phone. Nothing could run it on the phone. As far as the phone was concerned, it didn't exist.
I see. Okay. Cool. Did we cover all of his questions?
Now, with Z4 root, there's two options, at least the one I was looking at, temporary or permanent.
Mm-hmm.
And so what's the difference between the two?
Temporary, next time you reboot your phone, your root privileges are gone. Permanent, when the process is done, it reboots your phone and it makes it permanent until you go back and hit unroot.
Gotcha.
Hey, other advantages to rooting besides removing bloatware. Well, one, you could install wireless tethering apps, right?
Yeah.
Any other advantages?
Well, to me, in hindsight, it seems like the real big one is to root and ROM your phone. Some people, when they talk about rooting, they take for granted ROMing. They're two completely different things.
ROMing is installing different operating system, right?
Right. It's basically wiping everything that was on your phone, nuking and paving your phone with a new custom operating system that 99% of the time is immensely lighter, quicker, snappier, and features that don't exist on the official version. Now, the official version will have certain bling, like the car dock. You know, some things might be really nice, but on those after like image ROMs, a lot of people like them a lot better, and not all phones can do that, especially Samsung, something Avates, you know, Captivate, Incinerate, Aggravate, whatever. Some of them have what's called NAND locks, so you got to be careful. Some of them are very difficult or unrommable.
I see. I do have a modded ROM on mine. So I rooted and changed the ROM. I'm running fresh, and I'm really happy with it. If anybody has an Evo, it's basically the Evo operating system without the any Sprint crap on it. There's no mention of Sprint hardly anywhere in it. And I got to say, my battery life is killer. If your battery life on the Evo just sucks, because I ordered that 3500 milliamp battery, and I never got it because I went to the wrong address. But now I don't even really need it, because since I loaded fresh, my battery lasts so much longer than it did with the stock operating system. But that answers your questions, John, I hope, and thank you for the email. Let me read a couple of other ones here. This is from Caleb. He says, hey, guys, first off, I'd like to say great show. Did you guys recently see the news about the new PlayStation phone? It was set to run some Sony OS, but now it's running Android Gingerbread. I think they're teaming up with Google to take down Apple, but who isn't these days? This means that the Android might have a strong fighting chance to tackle the mobile gaming powerhouse that Apple has become. Thank you guys for the show. If you don't mind mentioning the Android App Addicts app that's in the marketplace, it's free. I need to know what you guys want to see in it. It helps to have some input from the users of the app. Thank you all, and as always, awesome show. That's from Caleb, who is Seafoltz.
I know what you and Steve D want to see in the app.
What?
Gym babes.
my wife found my gym babes on my phone.
She did?
Yeah, she found it.
She found it. How do you just find that?
She was digging through my phone because she's like, oh, I need a new phone. What phone should I get? And I'm like, get one like this. And I toss it to her, and then she looks through it, and she goes, what is this?
What is this?
What did she think about it?
She didn't like it.
It didn't want to make her want to work out or anything?
No, she...
What did you say? How did that get on there?
Damn that door. He must have hacked into my phone.
I just blamed it on my cat.
No, definitely check out Caleb's app. Download it. It's free. It's the Android App Addicts companion app. What I would like to see in the app is an easy link to the actual MP3 to the show. I think it's a couple clicks to get to it, because this way people can listen to it and follow along. That's all I would like to see. Otherwise, it's pretty killer. Oh, you could take out the Super Anti-Spyware app if you want to, or Banner if you want to. Let's wait till they sign back up and do more advertising with us. Unless that's an affiliate link for you. If that's an affiliate link, keep it in there, man.
Yeah, I'll say the part of the app I love is it links to the Google Doc that we have updated that has every app we've ever mentioned before.
Yeah,
so even if you only know a partial name, you can search for it.
Do you keep that up to date, Dor?
I do part of it, and Paul, I think, I can't remember who it was now, kept up the other part of it. Oh. I put the app name, the app brain link, who suggested it, and what's the price, and they put down what the license was and the developer.
Oh, sweet.
Site.
Yeah, check that out. Definitely just download his app, because it's awesome, and it's free, and there's no reason not to. Thanks, Caleb. I don't know much about that PlayStation phone, but...
Yeah, honestly, it seems like everybody in the world is very opinionated to it being the best phone ever or the stupidest phone ever thought of. Nobody's in the middle about this. I'll say it could be successful to a percentage of people, but the part I like about it is if it's on Android, which means somebody will reverse engineer it and copy it off. So I don't know how they're going to make games be buy only. They're going to have to basically stream the game to you, keep it in RAM, and then when you're done with it, delete the game.
Yeah. I gotta say, it's a great backup plan to have Android on the thing, because if it fails, at least you have an Android phone, you know. So that's very smart from Sony, which is something that I don't see them being very much these days.
Yeah, and I was add they're not teaming up with Google. Trust me, Sony teams up with nobody.
Yeah,
Sony's abusing the open nature of Android to use it.
interesting. I got an email actually from Best Buy, not personally to me, but it was about the Nexus S. We're going over an hour on the show here, so maybe we should talk about that real quick, and then maybe talk about it more next show. What do you guys think about the Nexus S?
Cool.
Any comments? No.
No, I think it looks cool.
Okay, that's enough for me. I think we covered that thoroughly.
Yeah, the vanilla OS intrigues me. I wish I could have it.
I know. I like vanilla. I like chocolate better, but for OSs, vanilla is my flavor. All right, Mike says, just got a Droid 2 and love the show. Wanted to let you know that Double Twist does not list it yet. Okay. Thanks, Mike. This is from, let me see. Aha. Meredith says, hi, my husband is a regular listener. Oops. My husband is a regular listener to your podcast, and he played for me your spot about CCHR and about not drugging children. I have a very short video. It's about 1 minute called I Am Just a Child. I put it on YouTube. You can see it by going here. And I got the link. We'll put it in the show notes. It's at youtube.com. Just type in I Am Just a Child. It's one of those, what's those little cartoon things that everybody's using these days where you just type in the text and they talk to each other? It's called like Extra Normal or something like that. Yeah. It's all done with that. It's a great video. If you guys are paying attention to the CCHR ad and you all have any interest in what's going on with that with children and like the Ritalin in schools and ADHD and ADD and all that stuff. I'm getting a lot of feedback from you guys, and if you are going through a certain experience with that, like Meredith and her husband, check out that video and check out CCHR. Thank you, Meredith, for the email, and thank you, your husband, for watching the show. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Appreciate it. And this is from Rashid. He says, I just got an Android Vibrant in September. I found your podcast shortly after. Sorry all of this has been discussed before, but do Android phones need antivirus software? Is it just a matter of preference, or is the system unable to get attacked? Also, what are your thoughts on apps that locate your phone if it's lost, like Lookout and Wave Runner? Just wondering what you guys recommend. Although it would be nice to get mentioned on a podcast, any response would be greatly appreciated. Love the podcast. Thanks for all the info. And that is from Rashid. First off, do Android phones need antivirus software?
No. That's my vote.
Yeah.
No, not as.
I don't know how effective they would be.
They need it about as much as Linux operating systems do, right?
Or Mac. Yeah. I believe they could do something, but I think the likelihood is greater of you hitting the lotto 2 drawings in a row.
Yeah.
Because, like CD said,
down off the market, pretty quickly when they're flagged,
Right. Yeah, because they don't know what to look for. The only thing they know what to look for is something that they know is a malicious app. And Google has the power to take anything off your phone they want. And I'm pretty assured they're only going to take stuff off your phone that is malicious. I can't see them coming to my phone and taking off Wi-Fi tether. They could have done it for months and they haven't.
There you go. And what about these apps that locate your phone if it's lost, like Lookout and Wave Runner? You guys use any of them?
Well, I know your answer to that, Steve C, would be don't lose your phone.
I was going to say it again, Timster. I'm still a proponent of that.
No, I think they're good. I think it's a good idea. I think it's a great app.
Which one do you use?
Oh, well, I don't use any of them.
Okay.
But I just think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I do. I actually think it's a good idea too. I do.
I mean, if you're prone to lose your phone, some people are just prone to lose it, leave it. It happens.
I do.
Right.
I know.
I'll just say this: all the glitters ain't gold. A, if your phone ain't on, it's useless. B, if your phone is not able to pick up a GPS signal, a clear GPS signal, it's still kind of useless.
Right.
So if you drop your phone in a field, it's a great thing to have. If you leave it in the basement of someone's house, it ain't going to work that great.
But at least you got a shot at getting it back with the app.
Definitely. It helps more than nothing. I just say There are ones out there that are free to install, and then after you install them, you go to the site and you find out it costs money. And some of them are cheap, but some of them are cheap, and when you pay money, you buy credits, and you're not completely sure how that market goes. Don't even waste your time. Look out, and one called Lost Phone. And there's a couple other more that are completely free, and they all seem to do close to the same thing.
There you go. All right. Well, that answers that email. Last thing we're going to do is play a quick voicemail, and then we're going to end off the show. Here is a voicemail from William, even though Google thinks his name is Lou.
Hey, Steve, it's William. Just giving you a call. I've been running Bugless Beast on my Android for the past 2 weeks, and I finally added the developer on Twitter at Peter Alfonso, and I just happen to have an idea tonight that, hey, maybe you should add a reboot button like the Cyanogen mod has. Maybe 10 minutes later, I got a message back that says done. So you might, if you can't direct message him and get him on the show, that makes for a good episode. Any luck, I'll catch you guys in the next week or two after I get over this mess. Talk to you guys later. Have a good one tonight.
Yeah, I don't see William in the chat room. He's not feeling well, man. He's sick. What did he install?
I'll just say open source rocks.
Well, what did he install? Google said in the transcript, Bloodless Peace, and I don't think that's the name of the ROM.
That was, I want to say Bugless Beast.
Oh, okay, good. Okay. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and it sounds like an open source ROM, basically.
I tried installing that on my Evo, and I tried using ROM Manager to install it originally, and I could not get to it, so I guess I have to install from the website.
Yeah, well, the good thing is the first thing it found when I put in Bugless Beast, it says how to install Bugless Beast for noobs. So this is the kind of tutorial I need.
Me too.
It does look like you need full root, and it does look like it's a full ROM. So you have to really be able to, quote unquote, roll the dice and, take that chance. But everybody's doing it, and I don't hear anybody having issues except for me, because I'm an idiot.
That's all right. William, we hope you get better. Thank you for the voicemail. We'll definitely
and open source. You just say, hey, I would like this. What a surprise. 20 minutes later, it's done.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Okay. Well, that is going to be it for Android App Addicts. Dor, where can people find you if they want to get in touch with you for whatever reason?
They're really bored. Just go to twitter.com/door-to-door-geek or go to the Podnutz forums. You'll find me in there, door-to-door-geek.
Awesome. Timster, where can people find you?
timscomputerfix.com. And hey, go to the Podnutz forums. There's an Android App Addict section in there. That's where you can find all of our useful apps and tips, and even our Android App Addict app.
Awesome. Steve D, where can people find you?
SMD Steve on Twitter.
There you go. And I want to thank everybody who's watching, listening, streaming. Appreciate it. Stay tuned. Hold on.
Just super quickie. Steve D, you'll be a fan of this. Crossloop has a remote access app for Android.
Ooh, I saw a piece of this somewhere. Oh, I got an email about that. Oh, yeah, I got to take a look at that.
Mm-hmm. Pound it out, son. Pound it out.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned for Nuts at Night, followed by D'Amico After Dark, which is going to happen tonight. I hope. I've been promoting it, so. And we'll see you guys next time.